Games, the game podcast where we bring you the news and reviews we care about.
And this season, we're playing through one game at a time with our official video game book club.
Whether you're the type to 100% every side quest,
Or you're just here for the vibes, like tonight will be, and the story, which we're
oh
not
yeah,
going over tonight, but don't worry, we'll be back.
easy mode or expert, you belong here in our conversation.
But you should grab your snacks, grab your tea, sponsored by Langley Tea Farms,
Woo
and let's break it down one level at a time. We're not actually sponsored.
Kind of. USPS shipping Wednesday. You got to get your orders in by Wednesday.
What's so funny is I literally asked him, I was like, do we want to, like, we were talking through the housekeeping. I was like, do you want to plug the tea? He was like, no, 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 no. And then I just
Then
did
here it
anyway.
comes.
Yeah.
There's
Plugged it
tea
anyway.
plugging. He's plugging tea.
It's really good. You should get some. We got some pop in chat today already. I'm one of your hosts, Kayla. I'm also in the chat.
I'm Jerica. I was also trying. I'm getting in that chat here in a second, but I opened up the wrong browser and am signed in with the other account. But
Oh
maybe
my
I should
gosh.
sign in. I'll be me, not JK Games. Are
I
you
love
JK
Josh,
Games or
and I have been in the chat. I was first.
Oh yeah, that's true.
God?
I think somebody said you didn't count. I think that was Cog that said you didn't count.
Ah.
It's true.
I also love that the menacing countdown is happening behind us, like the
Good.
games
Is
that
it?
define us.
I think I turned it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Because it
turned
was kind of funny.
It did when we switched scenes.
It's like Expedition 33, but
oh yeah,
it's just happening really fast.
the games disappear after 8, 7,
Yeah.
6. Well, speaking of chat, we've got the Dan Good Show. Welcome in. We've got P Schwag. We've got Turok. We've got Cater Blossom. We've got Trav Man Man. We've got Cognitive Clips. We have a whole bumpin' chat this evening to talk about the 10 games that define each of us. I'm going to go ahead and before we dive into that, because Jerica is going to kind of like start us off and explain what we're going to be doing here. But before we do that, let's do some housekeeping, which my co-host love housekeeping.
Here's the deal. Last week, I did it to myself because a lot of times I speak before I think, which really gets me fucked up sometimes. I'm just not gonna lie, but it's like my tongue can't be contained.
Mhm.
It's like if I had the biggest secret, like I couldn't, like I don't know if I should sign an NDA because I think I would go to jail or be sued. Like because I
Ooh.
think if I had any top secret information here, it would find its way out of my mouth. So on the flip side, like whenever I have information that I know I don't need to talk about, or hey, let's not even bring this up. There's no point in it. This is something that you shouldn't talk about. I still do it. And then last week I was like, I'm just gonna say what I think we're doing this week, and then just ruin it because I don't have all the information, and I did it anyways.
Which is so
So-
funny because, like, as you're gonna see coming up, that's premiering this week. I'm getting ahead of myself, but Jerica, you are good at keeping secrets. You
I'm
kept
just
one for like,
self-sabotaging. I
Yeah.
like that. That's my two middle names. Actually, now I have 4 middle names.
Oh my
are you good at
I-
hiding your gifts that you get people? Or
No,
you like
horrible.
to try to give
Audrey
it to them
always
immediately?
gets them early. I try to see how close to Christmas I can get.
Ooh, nice.
I can never wait till Christmas.
Yeah. I want to give people their gifts early too. I'm always like, do you want it now? Do you want everything now? I'll give it to you
Please.
now. But before we get too far in, we're gonna give you a little rundown of what our week's gonna look like this week. There's a ton of stuff happening in our Dido sphere and at JK Games as well. This is my first episode back. I was gone for 2 episodes. I'm ready to yap. So unleash me. Let me at 'em. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we have Spotlight Games, which is going to be Patrick Pishwag, who's in the chat, and Heroic Headgear, who so graciously, if you remember, gave us our first piece of custom JK Games merch. So he made this Titanfall helmet. So if you want to support him, because he makes some cool stuff and he sent us this, which was so nice, you should go watch Spotlight Games tomorrow at 8 p.m. EST. And then Wednesday, we have a very special episode premiering that was pre-recorded for Drop In, Drop Out. If you don't follow us over there, you should go follow us there. We did Secret Santa, and that was super fun. That's what I was talking about with Jerica earlier. She did keep a secret, and she played a game for one of us. We all actually played a game for another member of Dido. That's like their favorite game. And we hid it from everyone and revealed it on the episode. And it's so funny. Josh facilitated the whole thing and he knew all the secrets before the
Yeah, I
episode
was the
was
only one that
recorded.
knew what was even happening, so it was pretty entertaining to see what everyone was playing.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Like you have to be there. It wasn't recorded live, but you will be able to watch like the premiere on YouTube. So you should be in there in the chat when it premieres. We'll all be there and kind of chatting away. So you should join us there at Drop and Drop Out on YouTube. And then also Wednesday, Jerica is going to be on our friend of the show, Respawn Aim Fire. She's going to be on their Twitch channel. I believe it's going to be live. You should check them out if you don't already. They've been friends of ours for a long time, and Jerica's going to be talking Game of the Year with them, I believe at 8 p.m. EST as well. And also, last thing, next week, we're going to be joined by No Small Games, and we're really excited about that. We're going to have a collab episode with them that's pre-recorded. It's going to be our top indie games that came out this year. Very exciting. And also, I did miss something. Speaking of indie games, we've talked about this already, but Josh, Jerica, and I got to be judges for the Indie Game Awards, which is going to be premiering Thursday. And I think I'm going to be streaming it also on our channel. So if you want to watch the Indie Game Awards alongside us, it's going to be at 6:30 EST on Thursday. So lots going on. If you want to just stay up to date, you can always join us in our Discord. Josh, I don't know if you have a second to throw that link in the chat or somebody
Probably.
does. You should join us on Discord if you haven't already. It's always a fun time. We update you about all the things. And I think that's all of my yapping out of the way. If Jerica, you wanted to take it over and tell everybody what we're doing today. What do we mean games that define us? What are we doing?
Oh, that was perfectly timed. I got these new headphones and I couldn't put them in my ears if anyone noticed. So I was like, man, I'm missing some of this. I literally am like, this one's hanging on for dear life. And then I need a chapstick. So I appreciate y'all for
I got you. Don't worry,
dip
girl.
out here. I was like, oh my God, my lip hurts.
It was just the schedule, a very long schedule.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a lot going on.
We do.
Let me fix this headphone real quick.
No, it's okay.
But was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? Doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter here
It's a construct.
at all. I was listening. I'm still fixing this headphone. Sorry, you're having to watch me do it. It's for some reason it's just not going in my ear.
Get in there, girl.
I'm just gonna let that ride and hope for the best. I was listening to Kind of Funny, and if you are familiar with Kind of Funny, you know that fellow Greg Miller. When everybody was doing like the 10 games that define us or 10 games to get to know us, I mean everybody was doing it. They were doing it, and then like they had an episode for like the 10 games that define Kind of Funny. You go in through there, like fine, there's a few that they did. I think all members did it, and then Greg did one basically just sort of breaking down his list, and it was like not the top 10 games to him, but it was more like 10 games that like really define him and like had an impact on his life. And I was like, we here at JK Games shared our list on Instagram and I think Twitter too, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere we put them. If you can find it on Instagram
everywhere. Yeah.
And I went through my list after listening to him speak about it because there was like moments that in some of those stories that he shared, and I was like, that made me think of another game that I should have. My lips are so shiny. I just looked at them. This is the chapstick I got from my dentist.
Oh,
and it's medical. So good. Yeah, Dr. Toddy. She gave me some chapstick. I've never seen my lips so shiny. I got
Dr.
so distracted by that.
Kind of nice. It's okay. We're falling apart. My headphones are dying.
I
can't plug it in.
I was just watching you like struggle.
Do you see this?
Yes.
Oh my God.
We can't.
I just saw you.
How are we both like falling apart with our headphones all of a sudden?
I don't know. I'm derailing us, but I got a new computer, guys. Finally. I haven't talked about it yet.
Let me fix mine while you're fixing yours again. These little things are not hooking over my earlobe or my ear, the top piece of my ear. Why? I also just have really small ears, so it's hard to find ones that fit.
This is the prime content you're looking for. I'm embarrassed. Cater Blossom, who's going to be a guest on our podcast tomorrow for our next week episode, she's seeing us. We're falling apart. I promise it's not normally like this. Actually, it's 100%.
If I witnessed this, I'd be like, oh, this is going to be a breeze.
I feel
Look at
safe
these
here.
cool gals. These gals know how to try to fix something when it's broken.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing. But anyways,
Anyhow.
listen to that episode, and it made me think about my list. And I was like, there's some games on my list. If I truly like had these 10 games that make up my DNA and my life, my story, whatever, I wanted to redo my list. Not completely redo it, because there's a lot of games that stayed on that list from the OG list.
Yeah,
so
same for me.
But yeah, I wanted to do that with y'all tonight here. And I figured we just go around one by one and like go through 10 to 1, like 10 through 1. And basically, hey, these are the games that have defined us, impacted us, whether it's on the gamification of your brain from childhood to adulthood. Because there's like different games that I know that are on my list that really changed the course for like what kind of games I enjoy playing. Like,
me too.
There were some games I didn't think I loved, and then I played this one, so it changed my taste. The gaming taste buds evolved with some games on my list, so to speak.
That's the new title of this, the gaming taste buds.
That would have been better. Yeah, we should have done that.
We should have. But I like what you said, because like I'm going to talk more about when we go through the list. I'll explain like why, like what I chose and why I chose it, which we're going to try not to yap too long since we have 10. We kind of, Jerica has given us a rule that we can only talk about a certain number.
I only gave that rule so I wouldn't mess up, because if I pretend to hold y'all accountable, I'll hold myself accountable.
That's fair. But yeah, I thought the same thing. I was thinking through like what made me a gamer, like the genres that I play the most, like that maybe got me to try new things and like formed the kind of games that I like today. I think this is a good, like if you're listening to us like towards the bit, like this is one of your first episodes, this is like a good place to start, I feel like, with us, because it kind of tells you, I feel like all of us have like similar overlapping tastes but also very different tastes at the same time. So I think it'll be interesting to hear everyone's list. But who wants to go first? Jerica, should you go first? Josh?
Are we starting with let me do it's just number 10, but does number 10 need a drum roll?
I don't know. The 10s matter.
10s matter. 10 10 10.
Welcome. We're just getting started. I feel like Josh should start, because I feel like he hasn't. We've all talked more than him.
Sure.
So
I could start. Like we said, we're only really gonna we'll dive deeper on the top 3. So we can't spend too much time, because 10 games each, that's 30 games. We'll be here forever. We could easily do that, but we're not going to. So I'll start us off.
We have, in fact,
when we like Jerica said, we did a games. 10 games to get to know us. But for tonight, I wanted to change it a little bit, like what Jericho was saying with Greg Miller and stuff, putting like games that really changed him. So I modified my list a little bit. So these aren't even necessarily games that I would say maybe are my top games now. Maybe some of them are, maybe some aren't. But these are games that were like at specific points in my life, very impactful and might have like had an effect on me. And so I'm doing mine kind of in chronological order. Through childhood. I just picked some. There's plenty I could have picked. And then the top 3 are kind of out of order, but like most impact. So starting off, I want to shout out number 10. And I happen to have all these physically. So I was like, let me just grab all the physical ones. So starting off, shout out to Secret of Mana on the Super Nintendo.
nice.
And this was recently remastered on PS4 a couple of years ago. But this one's better, of course. And what this game is still my gold standard for multiplayer action adventure games, action RPGs. This game is incredible. The music's incredible. It has a decent storyline, but the world building, the vibes. I would love maybe sometime next year, when we're not all as busy, to do a 3-person stream of this, because this is so much fun. It is a 3-player action RPG on the Super Nintendo. And there is a P Schwag in the chat says, "What's the secret?" There is a secret. Don't you worry.
What year did this come out originally?
This came out in like 1993, I believe, or something like that. So when I was a child, me and my friends, I had the multi-tap from Bomberman. Super Bomberman on the Super Nintendo came with what's called a multi-tap. And it was this big old dongle that you plug into your Super Nintendo and let you play 4-player on the Super Nintendo. Because normally the Super Nintendo is only 2-player. And we would, every Thanksgiving, my parents and like all my friends' parents had like a big Friendsgiving, and it was like tons of people. And we would beat this game every Thanksgiving. So it has like a lot of fond memories. And so I love this game. It's so unique. And if you haven't played it, you should check it out. It's just a really great action RPG where you're actually like pushing the buttons to do your attacks. It's not turn-based, and different weapons have different play styles. There's magic system. It's really cool.
Nice. I love it. Jerica, do you want to go next?
Sure. This was originally not on my list, and I brought it back because I really actually picked this one out of a couple, but I really tried to start with like the platformer that got me like hooked on the genre as a child. And there's a lot of 3D platformers. Josh and I could talk about a lot of them, even some obscure ones. I played a good chunk of them. As a child, that seems to be the thing that got my attention most. But probably the first and most impactful, I wasn't a Nintendo girly growing up, but I did have my Sega and my PlayStation. So that was like my two main consoles growing up. And I think I played Crash Bandicoot every day.
Nice.
Every morning. I don't even know before school probably. I just remember being in my grandmother's a lot because my mother worked, and I just was playing Crash Bandicoot like every single day. So I had to give a little recognition to the Coot. I don't want to say the Coot for being like probably the earliest 3D platformer that like really got me into those types of games. You know, a close second, funny enough, with Gex. The gecko.
Oh yeah, Gex. We
I
were
did
talking
not
about
play
Gex
that.
the other day.
I did not play that.
But-
That Badger game they showed at the Game Awards reminded me of Gex.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
honestly though, like even though Crash is to me in a little bit of a league of his own because the levels were so linear but also extremely puzzly. You know, it wasn't an open air, like semi-open. It was pretty much just these levels were designed for these puzzles, and it was really hard. I do remember that. I don't think I've ever beaten it. Like I've beat it since, but like during these times in my grandmother's living room, I definitely didn't beat it. I died a lot, but I have a lot of memories with the Coot.
We would have been enemies because I was that annoying Nintendo only
I
kid.
know.
Like,
Not the enemies.
The console wars. Yeah.
I know.
I never did that. I don't know why. I never really cared.
It wasn't as bad later, but like that Super Nintendo, PlayStation, Genesis, it was nasty.
Yeah.
Jacob, okay, in the chat, welcome. Thank you for the sub. The Coot, he said.
The Coot.
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
I kind of went this same route as Josh, where all of mine, for the most part, I think every single one of mine is not necessarily like 10 to 1 as far as like the most impact, but more like chronological time wise.
Yeah.
And the first game that I can remember loving, like if I was trying to think like what's the first game that I remember as early as possible, like loving with my whole heart, and that is Sonic Adventure 2. Is and this wasn't on my original list either, but when I think about like all of the elements that Sonic Adventure 2 has and just the overall like vibes, the music. I mean, it's an iconic game for a reason, but specifically when you think through, like I didn't play the original Sonic Adventure. 2 came out in 2001 and I was a wee child. But the Chow Garden is very impactful to me as a gamer. This actually is from Josh, but I have to show it.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Look at him. But just like the concept of like going through your levels and not only like achieving your level and like finishing and like beating the boss, collecting all the things, you get these little creatures that you get to keep like in your own like base. And that was just like baffling to me. Honorable mention that's not on the list is Viva Pinata, which is a core like
I can't believe that's not on the list.
Well. It's not actually. I know. It's tough. But don't worry, there's more unexpected twists and turns coming. But
okay.
Sonic Adventure 2 formed a lot of my early childhood gaming. Me and my brother would pass the controller back and forth. So yeah, loved that game. That's my number 10.
That's a great pick.
Yep. I think it's Josh again.
See, we're moving fast. All three of us are yappers. Okay.
We all have more.
All right.
Yes. Yeah, we'll have more. Don't worry.
No
We
problem.
got the hog. We got the Coot. We got the mana.
The mana.
The hog is crazy.
Number 9 on the list for me. Number 9. Earthbound,
Yes.
of course. It's gonna be Earthbound.
Hey,
So
nice.
this game, this is don't look up how much these things are on eBay because just the strategy guide is insane. But like, I don't even care the condition. This is my actual guide that I had when I was a kid.
Aw.
So
That
it's
is pretty
used.
cool that you got that. That's neat.
And so the game actually came with this big old huge box because it came with the guide because they were afraid that American players wouldn't be able to figure it out because it's a little obtuse
It is.
sometimes.
I have attempted.
And yeah, it's a little difficult. You kind of might need a guide. But what I love about this game is I had played. I was young when this came out, probably about 10 maybe, but I had played some Final Fantasy already, so I was familiar with Japanese RPGs. I didn't really like random battles at the time. This game has the actual enemies, like you could see them before you fight them, so I thought that was so cool. And just this game being set in like modern, like it's such a weird world. Have you ever seen like a Tim Burton movie like Edward Scissorhands or a lot of his movies where
Yes.
it feels like America, but like a weird, surreal, like dream
Yeah.
like
It's
version.
like Uncanny Valley.
Yeah,
kinda.
that's how this whole game is like that. It's a weird vibes,
Ooh.
so strange. And you're these kids, and actually, season 1 of Stranger Things was kind of inspired a little bit by Earthbound.
Oh, interesting.
The creators, like, actually, there's Easter eggs, Earthbound Easter eggs in Stranger Things.
Oh, that's cool.
Um, And you're these kids, and the whole game, all the adults are just like, you kids are just idiots. You don't know what you're doing. They're just talking down to you the entire game. Yet you end up saving, everyone. So this is just one of those classic adventures where you're a child and adults are just rude and they don't understand you. And you're the one that has it all figured out and you're going to save everyone. So
I love that.
when I was little, and you get your little ATM card, there's like department stores, your dad deposits money in your bank account. It's just so cool. There's so many cool little things that they do in this game. The creator of it, his name's Shigesato Itoi. He's a Japanese copywriter, meaning commercial ads, right? And so he was kind of friends with Miyamoto and Iwata, and this is the only games he made was Earthbound. There's a couple of them. And we won't even get into the whole drama of that because the third one's not released in the US still. But
Do you have it?
he owns. I have I do have the Japanese copy of it.
Nice.
He owns a planner company now, like
Oh, yeah.
day planners, and they're very popular.
Is that
But-
Hobonichi? Is that what it is?
Hobonichi.
Hobonichi.
Yeah, Teko. So he makes day planners now. But when I went to Tokyo, I went to his day planner store, and they had Earthbound merch. This is a rare opportunity where he can't retain some of the rights to his property because he's friends with like all the Nintendo execs. So he has his own little Earthbound stuff, even though normally Nintendo would own all that. So
Right.
very cool.
That's awesome.
That is one of my tops for sure. Impactful. I used to. This is the last thing on it. I'm going a little long on it, but I used to rent the game from Blockbuster because I didn't own a lot of games when I was a kid because they're expensive.
Yeah.
And so I would rent it from Blockbuster, but it's a long RPG, and it was at the time 3-day rentals at Blockbuster. I could never beat it or get that far, and I didn't have the guide. So I was like, I had no idea. There's no internet. I don't know what's going on. So I basically would try to rent the same copy and hope my save file was still on there or that no one deleted it.
I remember
And-
doing that on games
Yeah,
before.
so that's just like a crazy memory of this.
That's
So
fun.
my parents finally got it for me for Christmas because I rented it so many times.
Aw, but then you didn't have your save file.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
had to start over.
It's okay. Jerica.
Next one on my list you're like, why would it be here? We're just going with the flow. And I really tried to do like defining to the core here. And this is pretty wild. Like
Take it
when
very
there we go. Trying to get down to my core. So my list eventually number 1 will be the core of this little gamer soul. We'll get there. Number 9, I'm gonna put The Last of Us. So
Hey.
Yeah.
it's
Of
here.
course, of course.
I don't have to explain much other than,
Not much.
The Last of Us has taken over my life in a lot of different ways. I'm glad the world gets to experience this story. Seriously, don't need to talk about it forever here, but the story, the gameplay, how cool, to see for me just a lesbian character, like the main like front of PlayStation. Like that's another lady that likes ladies, and I just never thought we'd see that from a first party studio game. And That's probably like the coolest thing, other
Yeah.
than, there's a great story. But that's just been an impactful part of my life. It's a way that me and a lot of my friends connect outside of here. I have, other friends that, you know, are also part of the lesbian community, and they only played this game because of what they heard on the street. And they're like, "Hey, so, wow, I didn't know that was a thing in game." Like, yeah, it's basically a movie, but yeah, you should play the game if you don't mind murder. But there is a show you can also watch now. Season 2 is not too great,
you don't
but
mind violence.
Yes,
mind a little violence.
Jerica, I actually have a question about you. This will be informative because I would like to know on this point if you know the answer to this. Because if you play The Last of Us Part 1, just straight through, not no pun intended.
There's a joke there.
There's not much as far as like the gay themes, but obviously there's the DLC, and that's like, okay, here's the story. Was this planned the whole time, or with original, or is it like kind of retconned in, like added with the DLC?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I think I knew from the first moment I met Ellie. I'm like, Ellie's probably at least a little interested in women at some point.
It reads.
As a teenager, when I was also trying to figure things out, even though totally different scenarios here, they're in the apocalypse, sort of hard to think about love and sexuality in the apocalypse. But, I always got that vibe from her. And then obviously the DLC, they sort of make it a little put it in your face, but that's one thing I've always loved about the series. Like, it's not, they don't make it, and they could have easily made it like a big thing that's put in our face, but it's just blended into the story without,
I agree.
It's just a story.
It's just a story about a person. So
which probably almost makes it feel more relatable. Like,
that's why
I would imagine. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It doesn't feel forced.
Just be like, I feel like there's some lines out of some games you're just like, you turn to the left, like, oh wow, that's a lesbian. They must be holding hands with that woman's holding hands with another one. I bet she kisses her later. I'm so glad she's a lesbian. Like, not there's a reason I'm not a writer, but there's a lot of ways that some stories get it wrong. But yeah, in my opinion, Last of Us does it really well. And I don't know if it'll ever be done that well again in a game. So that's why I hold it in a special place in my heart.
I love
Season 2 wasn't that great, though. I mean, I wish that was a little better, but
Peachwack said that was good dialogue, and he does theater, so he knows.
That's true.
Okay.
Good. Yeah. You should really get into the writing scene, Jerica.
Try to write. I'll send y'all some short stories later. How's that?
I love that.
Tell me what you want me to write.
There's a short story premiering on Wednesday from Jerica on the Dido YouTube channel.
You're
that you
took a lot of preparation, though. That took me a long time. I couldn't imagine if I would love to do like an activity where we do tell a quick story. Ooh. Like some kind of, I'd like to practice and use that muscle more.
Yeah, like almost like improv, but like not in a way.
I'm getting off topic here, but I would like to do something.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. I'm trying to think. So my next game, my number 9, I don't have a ton to say about, which I think is probably good because I could continue on forever about all the rest of these games. But I had to put Ape Escape 2 on here. Ape Escape is one of those games that I don't think about it every day now by any means. Like, it's not something that like I want to like revisit now as an adult gamer, but like it's still something I look back on so fondly. This is the first game, and the reason why it's on this list is because it's the first game I remember feeling rage baited by as a child and like wanting to rage quit. And it's because it's difficult. Like, it truly is. And there's no like difficulty settings or anything like that, but I enjoy a lot about the kind of hub world in Ape Escape where you're traveling to these different like lands and trying to capture these monkeys. The story that's kind of weaving throughout. And this came out in 2002, the second one. I haven't played it. I think I played, there's a third one, I think.
Yeah, it's on PS2.
I don't know if I think I played that one too, but the one that's like the most like
2 is
core memory
very
to
good.
me.
2 is
Two's
very good.
very good. I
The music
love the
is
gameplay.
excellent too.
Music is excellent. I love the it's one of the first games I remember playing that has like a whole like training like world where you can use like all the different weapons, the different nets, like there's all this and the music's amazing. The cutscenes are so funny. Like the when you find like the monkeys in whatever scene they're in where they're trying to like blend in and they have the little lights on their head and you're like trying to find them. I just love everything about it, and I do remember it being difficult and something like it was the first time I felt like as a gamer I had to like push through something to like get to the end. So Ape Escape 2, Blaster Goblin agrees with me. Welcome, Blaster Goblin. Hell yeah, I made it for the Ape Escape conversation. I love the monkeys.
Of course,
Do you know
Blaster Goblin.
do you know what the
would
monkeys
be
are
here
called
for
in
that.
the Japanese version of the game?
I don't.
They're called Pipo Saru because Saru is monkey in Japanese, and
Hmm,
Pipo is just like Pipo, Pipo, Pipo because they have the little thing on their head.
that's
I need
cute.
that as a
Yeah,
soundbite right now.
yeah.
When I
Oh,
get a text, that's the sound I want to hear.
I don't have it with me. I should have had it. I have the Japanese version of Ape Escape 2 that our a friend of the show, Cody, gave me
Hmm.
for a gift one year, but it's not near me. I need to go find it. But yeah, that's my number 9.
Great choice.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think it's back to you, yeah, Josh.
Number 8. I'll go faster. I was
I
talking too
and I
much.
well,
It's
don't
okay.
feel
It's
bad because
okay.
I even
We're
said
okay.
like, oh, this doesn't need a long conversation,
It's all
but here
right.
I go talking about The
I think
Last of Us
it's been
again.
good so
We're not
far. We
even
got.
halfway and we hit 30 minutes in.
It's
Okay, we
okay.
got
It's
it.
okay. It's okay.
No, I think we're okay.
Number 8.
Who cares?
It's Mario 64. Super
It's
Mario
a
64.
Mario.
This game, I had a. This might be like, if you want to ask, like, do you have any kind of neurodivergence? This might have been some hints. Before this game came out, I was so obsessed. I cut out, I used construction paper and I went through magazines and I cut out like letters to make this whole like I made like a fake advertisement for this. It was like Bowser's back. I remember in my head, it was like Bowser's back and he's bigger than ever, blah, blah. And I had cut out like, from like fashion magazines, like the B, the O, like it looked like one of those serial
That's
killer
cool.
like things. And I like glued it to construction paper. And then I had my parents take me to Toys R Us to like play the little the demo stanchion of it, and I was like, oh my
Nice.
gosh, this is so crazy. And then we had this neighborhood kid that got this like on the launch day, and I mentioned this neighborhood kid before on some content, but we literally just went to this neighborhood kid's house, and like all these other neighborhood kids were there, and we were just all like watching each other play Mario 64. And I remember it was playing when I got there. They're playing on Dire Dire Docks, and that music was playing and everything. That's just like core memory stuff. Like I just remember walking in, imagine like just a TV and just like 10 neighborhood kids just sitting around this TV with Mario in the Dire Dire Docks level, and just like everyone, it was just so mind blowing that now there's like Mario in 3D at the time, and this still holds up. It's insane that Nintendo was able to. There's some jank to it, but this was the first like 3D action platformer like almost that anyone's done, and it's just incredible that they were able to nail it first try. One of the best games of all time for sure. So this is very impactful for me.
I do literally remember playing that game like at Toys R Us.
Yeah,
Like
they had the
I
demo.
and it was one of those games that I did want, but at the time I didn't get an N64 at launch. Like I got one a little shortly after, and at that point it seemed like there was just some cooler things to play. Or my mom was like, do you want this one or do you want me to buy, I had to pick and choose.
Yeah.
But like I just remember playing that like on my friend's console because he had it, and at Toys R Us, and I just was God. Sorry, I don't know if y'all heard that. Something fell upstairs.
Ghost in the closet.
But yeah, it was for one of the first games too that was like, to me as a child, wow, this is an open world game to me. Like you can walk and move around the space and go swim. And I thought that was just so cool because, like, to your point, Josh, it's like the first 3D anything that we've really ever had.
Yeah.
Starting to see
It
these
was
characters that we played on
mind
Sega
blowing.
and Nintendo.
Yeah.
I never played it before. Well, I played it here and there, but I've never like played it to fruition. But Peachwag had a question. Did McDonald's have a demo kiosk?
McDonald's did have N64s. You might have played it there. I don't
Yeah.
think they had one before it came out though. But they did. Some of the McDonald's did have N64s inside, but not like pre-launch, unless some regions did. But Toys R Us and maybe Sears had like pre-launch kiosks.
Yeah. Is it me or is it Jerica?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
I think it's
Oh, wait,
Jerica.
it's Jerica.
No,
She's just
it's
talking about
me.
Mario 64.
Jerica.
Yeah.
I'm seriously, because I just chimed in on that one. Did you drop something up there? Audrey dropped her phone. What's new? I'm just
Audrey!
kidding.
no.
I'm just kidding. What's new? She's like,
What's new?
What's new? I was like, I'm
She's
just
ready to
kidding.
throw,
Just kidding.
she's ready to
She-
throw hands.
Oh no.
Get her on the pod.
Oh no.
the next game that I was gonna pick is that I am picking is Shadow of the Colossus, the OG
Yeah.
one. I mean, obviously the remake's great, but I had to add this to my list because it was the first game that I played. Came out in like 2007, 2006, something around there. Because I remember I was like in high school, like getting close to graduation. And I remember playing that, and like, you know, at the time I was starting to get a little bit more popular at school, you know, even though I was a
Ooh.
gamer. Like I had a lot of friends who were like, let's go out, let's hang out.
Gaming wasn't
And I was
cool.
And I was like, nah, y'all, I can't go. Mom's not gonna let me. But it was just me saying no, so I could
That's
play
so
Shadow of the
funny.
Colossus in
You're
my
so
room
funny.
all alone.
Yeah.
Because this game was the first time I realized that games could be artistic and like cinematic.
Oh.
For me, this was that game that sort of like changed how I thought about playing video games. I'm like, this isn't. There's no. If you've never played, basically, it's a huge open field world planet. You're trying to save this girl. She's like passed out on some slab. I think it's a girlfriend, someone important to this guy, the main character. You hop on this horse and you literally can ride the horse anywhere on this planet. And you are going to collect this power from like these giant colossi. And obviously the world's big, open. There's like subtle music. It's quiet. There's no dialogue.
What's
it's
crazy, just to like reiterate what you're saying, there's no enemies either. It's just the colossi.
Yeah, it's just they are the level. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, obviously you're on this open, just big open fields and not really a lot of change in environments. The colossi itself is like, you gotta, each of them, you have to grab onto them and figure out where their weak point is and like climb them. And it's a level of its own. Like they're puzzles themselves and they are so big. And just like all the cutscenes, like 2006, 2005, whenever this game came out, like I had never seen anything like it. So, and I think about it a lot to this day.
I love that. I've never played it. Should I play the
You should
add it
remake?
to-
Isn't there a
add it to
remake?
your
I,
list.
I
There's a
think I
remake.
have a copy of it.
I do
like,
too.
I have the remake,
Oh,
so I can
nice.
give it to
I'd
you.
like to try it.
Yeah.
Peachwag asked, did you play Titan Souls like a decade ago?
I
A
have.
16-bit top-down Shadow of the Colossus like.
No, never heard of it. I have to check it out.
It's good. It's on Steam.
I have to add it to the
You probably have
the
it.
backlog.
Oh yeah. If you got
Yeah.
it, I can download it. Yeah.
Ooh, family.
Titan Souls.
So my number 8 is going to be a surprise to none if you know JK Games and if you know me as a person. My number 8 is Super Mario Strikers.
Yeah.
And I had to add it to the list because I had to have a Mario game. While like Nintendo and like the Mario franchise isn't necessarily like the most defining like franchise for me, it definitely is a part of my gaming journey, especially my early gaming journey. And this is one I still look back so fondly on, and I'm so glad the original is in on the is it Nintendo Online? What is it technically on these
The first
days?
one?
There's something like available. It's like
It
the
is on. It is on
GameCube.
Nintendo Online on the Switch now.
Yeah.
That's
That's
yeah.
what I meant.
Yeah.
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 Because unfortunately the like remake
The newer
quote
one.
is not good in my
There's
opinion.
also one on the Wii.
I did not play the one on the Wii. I played the GameCube, the OG, which I have my
Hey.
my little
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
best controller ever made, I fear.
I love the GameCube controller.
But yeah, so that the only reason this one, when I think about like the formative memories, this is the first kind of like truly like couch co-op game I remember playing with my brother and my cousins. And I'm not like a big sports game fan, but like I think this is secretly like what got me into anime. Maybe
Ooh, the
'cause, like,
pipeline. I can see it.
the
Yeah.
cutscenes when they
The
make the
aesthetic and the
goal,
cutscenes, it is
and
very
it's a
anime.
very different Mario aesthetic,
Oh
is it
yeah,
not? Like,
it
in your
is.
opinion, as like a biggest Mario fan I know,
Oh,
like
it's so crazy.
it's
Like people to
different.
this day still like freak out about it just because it's so edgy and like hilarious.
Yeah, it's so good, and that's why I had to include it, is just because like how fondly I look back on it, how different like it was to me at the time, how it's one thing that like isn't necessarily in my typical, which I mean, yes, it's a sports game, but like that's not even really why I love it so much. Yeah, that's my number eight, and Pishwag did say Shadow of the Colossus would be a fun video game book club game. Which we, by the way, we will get back to video game book club in the towards the beginning of the year. We're just wrapping up our year with little
Yeah, you
fun
know.
bits here and there, you know. Can't commit to another game before Christmas at this time, but we'll circle back. Don't worry. Uh, but yeah, number seven, Josh.
Okay, number seven. I'm gonna change the order that I had originally set. I was doing it a little more chronological.
Oh.
And the reason is because I had this in my list, which is Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But what I can do instead, everything Jerica said, I agree with. But I actually just want to talk about Fumito Ueda as well. He's the creator of the series Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian. So this game
Great
gets so
butthole
much
in that
hate.
game.
Very
Well,
artistically.
I'm not hating on it. Is that critter, that creature has the best
know what you're saying.
butthole ever designed in a video game, an anus, so to
This
speak.
game is underrated. One of the most underrated games of all time, at least on
It's great.
Sony. Definitely on Sony. I think
Took
it's
like
because
20 years to come
it
out.
took a really, really long time. So it's one of those
No, Josh,
hype things. Yeah.
I know I'm not interrupting,
No,
but
go
I
ahead.
literally remember when this got announced. I was so excited because I was like, "Oh, more from Shadow of the Colossus people guy,"
Yes.
and I was so excited when it got announced. I feel like I was literally a child, and then I was out of
An adult.
like
yeah.
in college when this finally came out.
And so
Like something crazy.
these games, you just need to play them. Shadow, they're like what Jerica said. It's just like out of a lot of the different video games we made. This is a Sony kind of funded thing, but this is like true like art form video game stuff. It's just really good. Actually, Kayla would probably like this one too because it's very creature empathy. You're like this tiny person, and you have this giant, weird feathered winged dog-like cat
dog
creature.
cat. It's got a
And
cat anus. You know
you're
how
s-
cats like
yeah.
to flaunt their buttholes?
It
Sorry, I
basically
just like to
like
say, how many times can I say anus and butthole in this episode?
Incredible.
Josh is like,
And-
Jesus Christ.
You're stuck in this like dungeon, and you have to work together to kind of get out, and you have to call him and move him around and like do all these little puzzles. The ending of this game is so good too. So just this whole series and everything, we're definitely going to make sure at some point Kayla plays Shadow of the Colossus. Though,
Is it
'cause
PlayStation
it's incredible.
exclusive?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Sony produced kind of
Gotcha,
thing. And so yeah, there's a PS4 version as well. So
Okay. Very fun. Jerica.
Butthole. Sorry.
Wait,
Say it
Yeah,
one more
yeah,
time.
Oh,
Shout
Blaster-
out to buttholes.
Sounds like You
sorry.
and Blaster Goblin need to have a ranking top five, I guess, because he said, best butthole, you've clearly never played Halo 3 and went through a flood door. I'm unfamiliar.
Guess it looks like a butthole. I'm sure. I guess it wasn't that memorable. I don't remember that.
Video game butthole.
She's played Halo 3.
I mean, lately I've been playing a lot of Metroid, so that's a different type of situation.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that's why my memory's foggy.
That's-
Foggy?
Floggy.
Foggy.
Foggy.
Thank you. I don't know what Floggy Molly.
True.
uh,
You're seven.
where are we at now?
Yeah, you're seven.
Is it me again?
Yes.
I just said I won't talk about a lot of things. A lot. I'm going to try to keep this very simple. Final Fantasy X was my first Final Fantasy game, and that is on this
Nice.
list because
Yeah.
that anytime I saw a game that looked like Final Fantasy or anything that was like that I knew I had to click buttons and wait my turn, I didn't want to play as a child or a teenager. I can't remember when this came out either. But I picked it up because at the time you could read some things on the internet, but usually for me it was what was new and did the cover look cool.
Yeah.
So I picked this one up, started playing it, and I was like, okay, I get it. I get RPGs, JRPGs now. and I love this humor. I love anime, so this makes this why I also like this story. Oh my god, this story's so good. Oh my god, this game's so long. Oh my god, this is one of the best things I've ever played in my life. I loved how all of this came together. I want to play more of these Final Fantasy games. I don't think that about a lot of Final Fantasy games, not all of them. So I learned my lesson with that. But overall, like a lot of Final Fantasy games, I enjoy, and I wouldn't have ever played unless it was for this game, Final Fantasy X. So,
If you would like a 4-hour long discussion about all of the Final Fantasy games,
we
you can
got
find
you
it on
covered.
you can find all three of us on our YouTube. Just look up JK Games and Final Fantasy, and you can get the whole rundown. It's actually a really good episode, and we're dressing up.
We dressed
should
up
bring-
cosplay.
We did cosplay. Is it my turn? I think it's my turn, right?
You know what's funny about it?
Yes.
You're like, I'm Lightning. You're like, I don't know who that is.
You did a really good lightning
But it's good.
cosplay, though.
Yeah, it was
Great.
good. It was good.
One day we'll have a video game book club Final Fantasy. One day.
Oh yeah.
We gotta pick one.
We
Let
gotta pick
Josh
one.
help us pick.
Yeah.
So my number 7, you mentioned furry creatures. You
Uh-oh.
mentioned animal empathy. Let me introduce you to a formative game I haven't really talked about a ton on here that had to be included in this list, and that is Nintendogs.
Hey.
Nintendogs Lab and Friends, which
Okay.
doing some research around like years and things like that, because there's a lot of different editions of Nintendogs.
I was gonna ask which dog you had on the.
We'll get there, but
Okay.
one interesting thing is the creator of Earthbound had something to do with Nintendogs. Did you notice?
Shigesato Itoi?
Yeah, apparently.
I don't know if I knew if he had much Nintendogs.
Apparently so. Maybe that was just on Wikipedia, so maybe I'm
Catching me with
incorrect.
the Nintendo lore, the Earthbound creator
Yeah, look it
lore.
up.
Okay, I'll
Look it
look
up. I don't know. Look it up. But anyways, my specific one that I was like really into was Lab and Friends. So the little lab.
Mhm.
And I played this. This came out in 2005, the specific edition that I'm talking about. The franchise as a whole has been around for a little bit longer. I think the first one came out in 2001, I believe. But what I think this game really did for me was playing with my friends and like visiting their like dogs. And me, this is a funny quick story, is that me and my cousin used to get in arguments because I would want to play her Nintendogs, and she was like, you can't, they only know my voice. Like you can't, like they're trained for my voice, which is true because it had a microphone in it. Did you ever play Nintendogs, Jerica?
I've never played it. I was aware of it.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's on the Nintendo DS, I think is where it only lives. Am I
3DS
wrong?
as well, but yeah,
3DS.
DS.
I
and
got
3DS,
a 3DS. It's not too late.
I have a
I
copy.
have a bunch. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
a bunch.
yeah,
here,
yeah.
Okay,
too,
send me those
multiple.
dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Send the dogs
I had
out into Jerica's house. Y'all.
It's so good, and like I love animals and I love dogs, and so like you could feed your dog, you could adopt pets, you can go on competitions, you get like rated, you get money for your competitions. You can do little like, and they can fail or win competitions. They place just like regular dogs and dog shows, and you can like visit your friends' dogs, and they do voice commands through the microphone on the DS.
You can't train them, yeah, for
You
tricks
can
and
train
stuff.
them to do tricks. You can like call them. It's like very, very cool. And so I had to include it in here because it's so wholesome, and it just warms my heart to think about that
It's
time. But
Very
my-
much a product of its time too, because like in the late '90s, early 2000s, there's a big Tamagotchi craze,
Yeah.
and the little virtual pet, and this was like a so much more advanced version of that, just with the visuals and the everything you could do. So it was like, man, when that came out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
yeah. Were you into it, Josh, at all?
Yeah,
At the time?
I bought it when it came out.
Yeah. That had to be my number 7. I haven't talked about it a lot on here, but I
Mhm.
really enjoyed that game. a lot.
Nintendogs on book club.
We were
Yeah.
never allowed to have a dog because like our rentals house situation when I was growing up, me and my sister always wanted a dog. So
That's like
uh,
how you lived through.
yeah, I just got Nintendogs.
Just got Nintendogs.
That's
Did
it.
you fact check me for the Earthbound?
Not yet. I'll do it
Okay.
later. I'll hyperfixate.
Number 6, Josh.
Number six is adjacent to another one that someone mentioned. So we have some crossovers here. It is you remember I just mentioned I was a Nintendo kid aggressively. No Sega, no Sony, whatever. 1999, September 9th, 1999, Dreamcast is coming out. I'm like, you know what? It's looking pretty good. And by that point, I did have a PlayStation because of Final Fantasy. So I'm branching out. So the Dreamcast was my first Sega system I owned. And I unfortunately, even though I collect physical media, one of my biggest regrets is I did sell all my Dreamcast stuff when they discontinued it. So that's
I mean,
a
I
big
still
mistake
got mine,
that I made.
Josh.
Oh,
It's
lucky
better in your
you.
collection than in mine. I'm not doing nothing with them.
I could
Let's see
borrow
what I
it
can find.
for the museum, you know. But
Yeah. Put it in the museum.
so I do have this to represent it, Sonic Adventure 2 on the GameCube, which is one of Kayla's picks. But Sonic Adventure, to this day, it's 1 and 2. I'll say 1 and 2. Those are my favorite Sonic games. They're my first Sonic games that I like owned, and I played the Genesis one here and there just to prove that Mario is superior.
God.
But Sonic Adventure in 1999, when it came out, it was incredible. You have the music, so good, all that like the rock music, you know, Live and Learn, all that stuff. You had all the different characters, even Big the Cat, Amy, Knuckles, Sonic, Tails. They each had their different like little levels you could play. And what I love so much, like Kayla was saying, the Chow Garden on Dreamcast was so much fun because the Dreamcast memory card was a little screen on it.
It was like a little handheld
I
console.
did not know this.
You could move your
buttons.
Chow to the memory card and take it with you, and it was a Tamagotchi like virtual pet on the go, and then you could load it back into Sonic Adventure. It was so cool.
I'm surprised, Nintendo has never like capitalized on that after like in that time frame. I'm surprised they never had like a memory card like that for anything. Or something extra to put in the controller.
So cool, ahead of its time. Dreamcast is such a great console. I love Sonic Adventure, and it was just my favorite Sonic. It's still my favorite. Everyone's like, "Why? That's like the worst Sonic game." The Sonic fans hate Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. This is peak Sonic to me. Yeah, it's true. The diehards like, you know, the 2D or the Sonic Mania, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Whatever.
Whatever.
We'll see.
So there you go.
Jerica, you're number 6.
Oh, what was it? Hold on.
Oh, Lord.
I don't have it in front of my face.
Oh, that's okay.
So I got my phone, so I'm looking down here.
My phone.
Oh, this one's easy. I'm going to pick the obscure, weird one that really defined my child brain, and that's Space Station Silicon Valley.
Yes.
So if no one knows about this game,
Only
if you've
me
been
and
on the
Jerica know
show,
it.
this game is so ahead of its time. And you thought I was talking about like, ooh, I was so impressed with Mario 64 being almost like open world. Well, this is pretty much that plus whatever else you want to get into. Because all I'm going to say is you're like this little microchip that can like connect into animals. Like in literally any animal, robot animal that on this planet, you can control and become the animal. And it's so cool because there's like, obviously you have your levels that you can go and find all each level has different critters, each level is a different biome. Like you have your winter levels with the snow, you have your jungle forest, you have all kinds of stuff. Like this game is it seems like a technical nightmare, but it actually runs really well because literally you can just hop out of an animal. You're like a little computer chip. You press a button, he comes out of this little robot animal, and then you go, because you have to kill another robot animal to take over it. So you kill, say like I attach myself to this robot dog. I kill this little rat. I can then hit a button, my little computer chip guy, which you actually are, hops out of the dog and into the little mouse. They're robots. They're not real animals.
Oh, it's still
like maybe you're a coyote chasing sheep, but then you kill the robot sheep, but then you got to be in the sheep, and then there's coyotes chasing you. It's so cool.
And it's all a puzzle. Like you got to control and be certain types of robot animals to progress to the next stage. And then when you go to the next stage, you complete the level, whatever, you get to go to the other biome. And there's like 20 plus levels, I think. This game's massive. And it was for the N64. So
fun factoid, because you're a little character that can enter and exit basically these vehicles. Oh, interesting. So the original development team, DNA out of the UK, there it is. This is the team that basically made Grand Theft Auto, which is hilarious.
What?
Yeah.
So yeah, they
It
got
was like their
eventually
baby
they turn into
project.
like they go into Rockstar eventually. So it has some of that like concept of like entering
there
and
ladies
exiting
walking
like
around like
vehicles and
this?
stuff.
Yeah,
Nope.
Take-Two
Nope.
Interactive.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a cool game. If you've never played that
It's
shit,
good.
you need to boot
Underrated.
this shit up right now because that blew my little kid. Like I remember renting this multiple weekends in a row.
Cater
I'm
Blossom in the
surprised.
chat. This is so funny. OMG! I just started GTA 5. Love it.
Wait,
Almost made it on
really?
my
Oh my
list.
gosh.
That's
Almost
so
made
funny.
it on my list, y'all. Vice City specifically,
City.
but I was like, I don't know if I need to. I don't know.
Mm.
GTA. That's another story for me for another time.
Okay.
Why I played so much GTA. GTA is so
Okay.
fun. I can't wait for the new one. I'm also in the trade of playing or wanting GTA right now.
Hey,
Seems fun.
Cater Blossom, no judgment. I'm
No,
very
no
intrigued to
judgment.
hear what you think about GTA 5. She said I'm a new gamer.
Yeah.
I
Um,
love GTA.
Now, if my number 6, let's show you the duality of my gaming taste and what formed me, because we are in fact going from my number 7 Nintendogs Lab and Friends to my number 6 Call of Duty Black Ops, the
Oh.
original.
Yes.
There's a little gap here, which I think actually makes sense year-wise from what I was like, how I was as a gamer at this time. Um, when Call of Duty Black Ops, the first one came out, I was like newly in high school. And I was getting back into games and like finding interest there. It was really horrible being a female gamer online in this era of times, the
For
2010.
sure. Still
And
is,
when
honestly.
like online, I mean, it is now too, but like it's a little bit better than it was in
Yeah, a little
2010.
bit. Yeah.
So I would mostly not be in voice chat majority of the time. But it like playing this game, this campaign is what made me love shooters, specifically first person shooters, and that is a lot of like what I love today. And the zombies, the music, the campaign, the story, the psychological like aspects to this. I know it's kind of like jokey at this point because there's so many Call of Duty games and there's so
Mhm.
many like Black Ops specifically games, but I just feel like nothing hits like the storyline and the arc of the characters in the original Black Ops. And I had no interest in like military-ish
Mhm.
things at this age. I was not like that's not like what I cared about, but I loved playing everything about this game, like the multiplayer, the zombies, the campaign. It was so well-rounded and had like hours and hours, days of like replayability in my house, and it's what made me like FPS games. So cannot talk
Nice.
about Call of Duty Black Ops 1. But number 5, Josh. We're in
Number
the
5.
middle,
Okay.
the top
Coming.
5.
Yeah. So this is going to be a unique one because I don't talk about this a ton on content, but I wanted to bring something kind of a little bit different. And again, this is another Dreamcast game, but I again sold my Dreamcast stuff. So this is going to be the GameCube remake of it, and this is Skies of Arcadia. This game,
Interesting.
I still think about this game like all the time. They never followed it up with a sequel. They never did anything. The vibes, the music, the characters, the story. Like I have some storylines like in my head. I would eventually. I call myself a future aspiring author because I'm not even aspiring yet. But I have a couple book ideas that I'd like to write for novels, and I sometimes I find myself like being inspired by this game specifically. So it's just so cool. I'm not going to get too far into it because we're supposed to keep these short, but essentially not a lot of people know about this game, but you're in this crazy world that's like sky pirates. There's like floating islands and you're just above. And you find this mysterious girl who seems like otherworldly. She lost her memory. And there's like a evil like empire like trying to find her and like get her. And you're these pirates trying to protect her. And you got to gather this like pirate crew. And it's just so cool. So it's kind of like this anime story with like sky pirates and stuff. Very cool,
cool.
RPG. Yeah, it's very good.
Nice.
Never
The
heard of
GameCube
it.
one, they fixed some of
heard
the
of it.
problems of the Dreamcast one. The Dreamcast one, it does have random battles, and it's like too much, and so they like toned it down. So this is actually a better version than the Dreamcast one. It's very good.
Yeah, never heard of that. Look at
Yeah.
that. Unique plug.
Sega. I got some Sega representation.
About
Uh,
time.
Yeah.
Jerica, you're number 5.
My number 5 is Pokemon Yellow, specifically the yellow one,
Nice.
because that's the one Pikachu's on, and
Hmm.
also is my first Pokemon game that I ever played in my
Oh,
entire life. So it was my first experience with Pokemon was Pokemon Yellow, because I had a Game Boy and my mother was just like, I guess I never asked for it, which is really interesting. My mom just got me a game for Christmas and it was Pokemon Yellow, and booted that thing up, started playing it because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. It's not some like normal game that I play like Tom and Jerry or some Looney Tunes bullshit on my Game Boy, which a lot of those games were actually pretty good, by the way.
Mhm.
But um started playing Pokemon Yellow. Pikachu was
It's a
so freaking
great
cool.
starter one.
Jericho, the evolution of
Yeah.
Jericho.
For
Yeah, and
those
then
that don't
like
know, like Pokemon came out with Red and Blue. That was like the original one on the Game Boy, and it took
I'm
America
getting
and the
there,
world by
Josh.
storm. Oh, I'm
I
Oh
sorry.
yeah.
wanted to
I
tell the
interrupted.
story.
Go ahead.
God.
Tell us about
I
Pokemon Yellow.
listen, because here's what happened. I played Pokemon Yellow, and then I'm asking mom for Red and Blue because it came out like way before
Mm.
it. Um, and then I think it actually came out around the same time the anime came out. Like within the span of like 3 months or maybe less, I became the biggest at the time that I know of, the Pokemon fan. I
Mm.
collected it, I watched them. I was obsessed to the point my grandmother, I remember her coming downstairs and she's like, you don't need to play Pokemon anymore.
Oh,
This is all you want to do. You're never going to do anything with your life. And I was a child, but grandparents could be sort of mean, especially if you're downstairs in the dungeon playing games all day. It's unheard of. I won't come up. This was, I feel like this was actually a trip when we were at the beach. I was downstairs just playing Pokemon.
oh, instead of on the beach.
Vacation
Yeah.
games is really fun.
Literally
Yeah.
not at the beach, just
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
dark playing Pokemon. I feel like there was a light on.
Did you have the
if I
little
was using on the Game
magnifier
Boy.
and like the light and
Yes.
like yeah,
To
okay.
play anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It like blew up
So
your
funny.
screen. I made your
Yeah.
Game Boy screen like super big. It was so wild times. But yeah, like I went back and played Pokemon Blue and Red. And God, I wish I still why the fuck did I throw away all my boxes for all my Pokemon stuff? Y'all, my
Kids.
Pokemon collection though, like no, I'm not even talking the cards. Like one day I need to take a camera. Josh, you see, come with me to my dungeon at my mom's
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
And let's go through this treasure together.
Yeah,
that
like
needs to be an episode.
It'd be a good TikTok, you know.
I
It would.
collected everything Pokemon. Like I have all kinds of stuff.
That's really
Wow.
fun.
So you still got a lot of it, not the boxes for the games or something.
Yeah, but yeah, Pokemon Yellow, iconic. It was the first time Pokemon could be, or Pikachu was just like outside of its Pokeball in the
Yep.
game. Like that wasn't a thing until Yellow came out.
I wish I was I feel sad that I'm not a huge Pokemon fan. I feel like I'm missing out, but I love hearing people talk about it because it's like
If you're a fan now, I don't like the Pokemon fans now. I don't even like the fans that say we've been in it from the beginning. You're the one stealing all the cards from the stores. I can't buy any
Yeah.
cards for my
Right.
enjoyment anymore because you have ruined it.
Blaster Goblin said I had a similar experience, but it was when I played Tony Hawk Underground through an entire Thanksgiving dinner.
That's
Yeah.
very Blaster Goblin.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Okay, so my number 5, once again, not a surprise. But I have to mention it because it is an evolution of my love of shooters and of first-person shooters. And I toyed back and forth between like which edition of this to share, but it's gonna be Titanfall, which came out in 2014. And Titanfall, the original, Titanfall 2, one of our video game book clubs that we did this year. You should go back and listen to those episodes. My brother joined us for that. But the first Titanfall didn't have a campaign. It was only multiplayer and only like literally just multiplayer. But it's something about it, the way that the combat, the gunplay, like everything about it just like sucked me in from the very beginning. And it was just a time. Like when it came out, everyone was playing it. Like it was, at least it felt that way to me. Like it was just a moment, like a snapshot of gaming in the time. Like I loved it. I was still in high school. I was about to graduate high school, but I just love that game. Everything about it. A lot of fond memories attached to it, and I think it kind of formed my taste as far as like traversal. Like I didn't realize that was possible in games at the time. Like you can wall run. Like it's really was, even looking back on it now, as you guys played the second one, but like it's aged super well. Like the game still looks amazing. Like I remember, I didn't mention this in Black Ops, but I have visceral memories of like playing Black Ops and Titanfall for the first time and thinking like this looks like real life. Like I can't tell that this is a game. Like it looks like real life happening. So yeah, that is my number 5 is Titanfall, which
Funny
you guys
enough,
should try at the first one.
I was playing with, Destiny with Joel and Audrey. And my buddy Joel was like, God, I wish she was here in chat. He's like, oh yeah, I mentioned Titanfall for we were in the mechs. I think I texted you that. Like there's a part in the Star Wars stuff with Destiny that I'm like, oh, this reminds me so much of Titanfall. I get to say that now. But then Joel was like, oh yeah, I played the first one, but I didn't play the second one. I'm just like, what? What? I'm like, I didn't even have a campaign. He's like, yeah, it was just online. I'm like, what are you doing? You need to play the second one because that's where all the magic is. It has a whole campaign. The story was really freaking good.
Really enjoyed it.
Oh
so
my God.
like, there's people out there that just have played the online first game. I'm like, why? Why haven't you played number 2?
Isn't that interesting too? Because like not a lot of like I feel like
let's forget about it.
That's true, yeah. I feel like at the time not a lot of games did that, where it was just like only multiplayer, like there was no like and it was still so coveted. It was very just interesting to like look back on. But yeah, you should play the second one too, everyone. So glad these two, I got them convinced to play it.
Yes. It was great.
Yeah. We're in the final countdown.
Okay.
We got number 4, Josh.
Number 4 is one of my weirdest picks.
Oh boy.
Because it's not a game.
I love a weird pick.
Yeah, it's not a game. It's I cheated. It's the soundtrack to a game. I thought it'd be unique. So my number 4 pick is the soundtrack to Chrono Cross.
Whoa.
Chrono Cross is the spiritual sequel to Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is a superior game in all ways. Chrono Cross could arguably be not that great of a game. The soundtrack on this game, I listen to it all the time. Like I'm talking like all the time. This is one of the best gaming soundtracks of all time. It's Yasunori Mitsuda. He did some tracks on Sea of Stars recently, but he's done a lot of the Xeno Blade series, Xenogears, Xenosaga, all that kind of stuff. He's done a lot of Square Enix RPGs. He has a lot of Celtic influence. He's a Japanese composer, but he's like a really good Celtic composer. So he uses a lot of Celtic artists. And this soundtrack is just so amazing. This came out in, I believe, 2000. You notice it's Square Soft, not Square Enix, because they had a merger. Square Soft used to be like, it used to be how BioWare used to be. Used to be how Blizzard used to be, where it's like you saw their logo and you knew it was going to be quality. It's not quite like that anymore, unfortunately. But this game came out in the summer of 2000. They had this promo called the Summer of something, and they released a bunch of games, like 4 or 5 games in one summer. Legend of Mana, incredible game. Threads of Fate, Vagrant Story, Chrono Cross. And a lot of fans were disappointed by this because they were expecting more of a proper sequel. The story is decent. The gameplay is a little weird. It's a turn-based RPG. Great visuals and everything, but the music, so good. Pishak says my number 3 is a manual to Final Fantasy IV. That is something I would do.
Yeah.
But yeah, check this soundtrack out. It's very good.
Where would one check the sound?
It's on Apple Music, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jerica.
YouTube too.
I wish you'd been like,
it's on Spotify.
just come on over to my house.
Yeah.
Put in my earbud. I got my CD player.
Incredible soundtrack.
Amazing.
Good to know that. I've been meaning to ask you that because I was like, oh, there's a version of some kind of game like Chrono Trigger on PlayStation on the store.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's not what I need to be playing for Josh. It's the other one.
The Steam one is pretty good though. Now they fixed a lot of problems with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jerica, number 4.
It's my turn. God, I never have my phone ready. Gamers, grab your Mountain Dews because Halo 2 is on my list. Woo!
Epic.
Oh, I had Xbox Live for the first time. We talked about this recently, I think on Drop In, Drop Out at some point. Just like the nostalgia for just online games is, I think about the internet when the internet became a thing and the game community on the internet became a thing. I just think of Halo 2. You think online gaming, I think of Halo 2. And it was just my first time playing a game online with folks. And also, Kayla, not disclosing that I'm a lady. And if I ever talked, they just always thought I was a little boy. And they're like,
boy,
about to get your balls smashed. And I'm like, oh my God. I feel like my mother, if she knew what I was listening to on this mic, she would try to murder these people. What'd you say to my kid? That'd be my mom.
Yeah. They didn't even know we were playing online. They didn't even know.
I mean, no, like I remember my mom like walked in, like this is just before people did this, like at all. And I'm just in there playing my games and I'm talking out loud. And my mother's like, who are you talking to? And I just told her, I'm just yelling at the game.
Oh my gosh.
Because I didn't want to get in trouble because I felt like I was doing something bad because they were saying bad things on the mic. So I feel like if my mom knew that, it wouldn't be, I feel like I was going to get in trouble, which was not the case, but that's how I felt as a dumb kid.
Yeah.
But I got so addicted to it. I was playing every night. I just remember like with Halo 2 specifically, and I guess 3 as well, like you get a ranking, you lose some matches, you lose your rank.
Yeah.
So like when you started getting high up on your rank, like if you were level 50, you lost some, you would go down to like 49 or 50 or 48. And that just sucked. It sucked. But I love getting an energy sword. I love getting a BR. Such a good time.
I love it.
They added that dual wield.
I don't remember that, but
the two guns, you can hold two guns in one in each hand.
I don't think I did that a lot. I was just the BR was my jam.
I actually worked at GameStop when that launched. I did the midnight launch for Halo 2. And that was the most cash that I closed out. It was a lot of cash.
I did the midnight Best Buy Destiny launch.
Hey, that's cool.
I bet that was a pretty big deal. Because I didn't get it at launch. Yeah. I was just like, man, I don't know. I don't seem too fun. But then I got really addicted.
Yeah. So. If I was going to put a Halo game on this list, which I don't think it quite cracks it for me, it would be Halo Reach. I was a big Halo Reach was really good player. But my actual number 4 is also taking another left turn on the gaming journey, courtesy of you two, actually, here. Life is Strange is going to be on my list. The original. While I didn't play, so we're starting to create more, because I told you guys I was doing this like chronologically in my gaming like career. And as important to me now as this genre of game is, it's why this has to be here. Because I could have included like the Walking Dead Telltale game as well, but which also kind of like helped form this for me. The like choices matter, narrative focused type of experience. But Life is Strange, which both of you encouraged me to play, the first one coming out in 2015. I don't know, something about this story and the way that it plays, how weighted your decisions feel, how attached to the characters that you get, and the just like style of the way that they managed to do this. It roped me in, not groped me in, that was bad.
Sometimes it gropes you in.
True.
That Mark,
gotta watch out.
Mark. Professor
ask for consent.
Mark,
Yes. Ask for consent before you rope me into Life is Strange. But it's everything about that, and like I feel like really shaped the kind of gamer that I am right now. Like I think that the narrative being what I'm looking for and that impact of the game I'm playing, I think started with this game. So I had to include it, and the whole franchise is just incredible. But yeah, that's my number 4.
Amazing. Love that.
Josh,
we're into the top 3. Life is Strange almost made my list somewhere, like for sure. So I like that pick. All right. Top 3. We're getting to the top 3. I'm going to go ahead and put, I have my top 3. I didn't decide which order to put it in yet, but I'm going to go ahead and put Last of Us Part 2, actually my top 3 right now. And the reason for this is mainly, I don't know if something about the time that this came out, it just hit like so hard. Not only is this like an incredible game, like you can play it now, but this came out in what, 2020, right? It was 2020.
Yes.
So I just remember like this is crazy time. This is a very isolating game already. This is like work from home kind of situation. I was in like a temporary in between housing because we were starting this farm up, and because COVID, it was in between things. I was in this temporary house that Kayla actually eventually lived in at one point.
Yep.
But I had a weird temporary setup, and this game came out. And every night everyone's asleep. I'm playing this late at night I had my little studio temporary setup on the TV, and I would just play this for a couple hours every night. And just the story this tells, the time that it hit, I myself, from the time this, just coincidentally, just with everything going on in the world, from I'm a different person from January 2020 to January 2026, I guess. I'm a totally different person just because everything that happened. And so this was just coming out at that time where like I'm changing as a person, and it's still good like on its own, but just for me personally, this just hit, and it's just so insane. Like this story of hatred and honestly brutality, hatred, violence, and it not having a clear answer at the end, not a happy answer. So well, if you watch this channel, you're gonna know all this
Duality of like the not knowing, like that's one of my favorite things to experience in gaming. And I'll go ahead and share that this is on my list, but I'll revisit just so it's canon. Yeah, this is the no, there's no like right answer or like right person. Like nobody is in the right, and I think that like it portrays the cycle of like violence and like that humanity experience. Everything about it is perfect. All three of us have been on content on JK Games for a long time talking about this, so we don't have to go on too long. Listen to Clickerbait. Yes, but very glad that's on your list, Josh.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, I didn't know that about your emotional state. And
I mean, it's just,
you don't have to, share it, but I didn't know.
I mean, everyone. I mean, it's COVID, and I have relatives that, for various health reasons, had to be very careful about getting something like that, and so we were very isolated from friends, from family for 2 years. Really, we hardly went anywhere. Like you just stayed at home, and so it was just all that was going on in the world, and different people having different political and everything just turned crazy upside down for me. And so it was just like, it would have been a good game anytime. Like if you just play this now, it's a great game. But just for me personally, like that time period, it was just insane to be playing.
I feel
probably not a great idea.
Ellie
honestly,
came out of it a different person too.
Yeah, for sure. So
dang.
Exactly.
Dang.
Jerica, you're number 3.
I'm going to follow that up and say Mass Effect 3 is my number 3 game. And funny enough, the guy in the middle here is the reason I played it. I actually played it before I met Josh, but and I'm not going to pick individual games because I picked the trilogy. You can technically buy it as one experience now as the Legendary Edition. I would say that the Legendary Edition of Mass Effect, so it includes all 3 and the DLC and everything else in between. Mm-hmm. As Mass Effect was one of those games I picked up when it had come out, and I just hated how it felt. I was just so used to probably like Halo 2, Halo 3, like how quick and agile all the movement felt at the time. And then Mass Effect was not an action game, but it was also an RPG. And the combat just felt really bad to me. And moving around this world, I didn't realize it was one of the greatest stories of all time and had some of the best voice actors of all time in the game. And their choices matter between the first game and then the last game. That's unheard of. And I was lucky enough that I didn't like the first game, so I didn't play. And by the time I talked to Josh and met Josh, and Josh was like, have you ever played Mass Effect? I don't even know why we're bringing it up. And I was like, I did, but I didn't like it. He's like, you should give it another shot.
It almost made my list too, just because it's one of my favorites. So like, that's the only reason I was mentioning it to you, just because like, I don't know, it was early in our friendship, so it just some conversation we had. It was like, I think you would like Mass Effect.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I
I made
think
you
you
restart
asked me,
it
like,
too.
did you play as like male Shep or
Yeah.
female Shep? And I was like,
Yeah.
male Shep seems like, here's the deal. It's so, I'll be really open and honest. I've said this on the show before. I was like, I have never played a game where you could choose between, you know, male Shep, female Shep, whatever main character you're picking. It's usually, at the time, I was used to having a better experience as picking the male character. I was expecting them to have better storylines. Like
Yes.
That's usually how it goes. Yeah.
and Josh was like, no, it's the same. If anything, Fem Shep's situation,
Yeah.
voice actor, much better dialogue delivery. And I was like, okay. And when I dove into that and I started playing as Fem Shep, and I was like, similar thing with The Last of Us. Like, I made my shepherd story is my shepherd story. When y'all play Mass Effect, you have your own shepherd story, but like, my Fem Shep was a ladies' woman, but then she met Liara, so she settled down a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was just really cool to see such a strong female character that my character could be. And like, the options just weren't, the choices matter for my shepherd. So if like I wanted this romance option to go this way, it went this way and they delivered on it. It wasn't just like a little experience just because they had to put it in there. Like there's a whole DLC dedicated to certain choices that in this game. So any decision you make in that game pretty much has like payoff and it mattered. So I feel like they said like in an interview, like the dialogue, the script, just all three games would literally fill up an entire room. Like,
wow.
The script and the dialogue that it took to write that game. So,
and are all of the games like that? Like each one has that level of like intricacy and detail?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty much. And you mentioned with Last of Us how, you know, the representation with Ellie. Mass Effect was a very early game to feature like a lot of LGBT representation, not just with like, okay, I can romance whoever, but like with some of the side characters, NPCs, where they actually had
women.
like, yeah,
blue women.
What's that guy's name? He like has a husband and like all this stuff. So like, it just was like part of their character arcs and stuff. But it was very interesting. And
a lot of queer characters in Mass Effect.
It's very early.
And some of them are like they were already pre-written that way. It wasn't like just that way because you chose that. Okay,
exactly.
that's really cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was in there anyways.
Eventually, me and Betty Hyperthrust Dixon will get back on.
I don't know if she's coming back. She's real expensive. She took all my hot dogs last time she was here. So, but yeah, I'm really glad Josh is here for this. I'm so glad he made me play. It is now one of my favorite games.
That is one of our early
favorite games of all time.
Me and Jerica early lore. Peachflag says, to be honest, Mass Effect is probably the franchise I've thrown myself into the most in my life. The amount of times I played those games in high school and then 3 in college, completely lost in that world.
I love that. Mass Effect podcast one. Okay. My number 3, I'm not gonna have a ton to say about, but again, this is another one that I feel like really laid the groundwork for the genre that I play the most probably today, or maybe not today, maybe like a few years ago, because my taste has also recently changed. And that's Stardew Valley is my number 3. And it came out in 2016. While I don't necessarily pick up this specific game as much anymore, hundreds of hours of playtime into Stardew Valley. I still have not played it on PC and used all the mods that I know I could use because I feel like I have to play it in its like true form. But I love Stardew Valley, and I think it really made me like interested into the like farming genre, which is like we joke about that it's like a thing that I like, but I really like it. And there's something like that really like appeals to the neurodivergence of me specifically that is very like tedious in a way that's like satisfying and like occupies the space in my brain that would otherwise be anxiety ridden. It allows it to be more like focused and honed in on like what I'm doing in the world. And it really allows you to kind of like immerse yourself into this. Like there's no like, well, I say that there is a story. First of all,
yeah, there's a story.
in Stardew Valley, and you can romance whomever you choose, which is all well, unless they're married. But you know, I'm sure there's some
There's mods.
mods where we can
Mods.
adjust that. So yeah, Stardew Valley is my number 3 by a long shot.
That's great.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right,
Top
see,
2.
we're doing good. Well, top 2. I do have it physically, but I forgot to get it, and we don't have to talk too long about it because we do have a long podcast about it. But I had to have some Final Fantasy representation.
Yeah.
Really, it could be the whole series.
Yeah.
This is one of my defining series that got me into gaming. Has been a constant. A lot of people, fair enough, you say like, oh, these stop being good after this, stop whatever. I don't like this era of Final Fantasy, whatever. I like them all. So I'm gonna choose though as like a very impactful one, Final Fantasy 11, which is the first time it was online. This caused a big stink because again, usually it's an offline single player experience. But they went all in. They didn't just say like, "Oh, we're making a Final Fantasy spin-off MMO." This is Final Fantasy 11. It's a main entry. It is online, and we're going all in. This was early. This was a PS2 multi MMO basically. So it was like in 2002 or 3, and it's just like crazy times. There's so much design decisions that are actually bad. Like this would not hold up today, but I'm still chasing that feeling today because like the game was so punishing to play. A lot of times, like if you wanted to go from this city to this other city, well, you'd have to catch an airship, but the airship runs on like a real life schedule. And many times I'd be running to like, it's like you're trying to miss the bus, school bus. I'm like running to catch the airship and I miss it and it flies away and I have to wait like 30 minutes in real life. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm trying to like meet my friends to like party up, but I can't get to them because I missed my airship.
That's wild.
If you die, you lose experience. So it's very high stakes because you can down level. So if you're like level 40 and you die too much, you go to level 39. So it, in many ways, like the game made it very hard to play. So many hours was just spent social, like trying to find a group of people to play with because you couldn't really solo. You would have to find people to play with the party up, and it was just very hard to do sometimes. And you would go like you could take 2 days where you're not making progress on your character because you can't find anyone to like level up with. So in a lot of ways, though, that just made it so much fun. And I started taking Japanese in college, and I realized because the server was English and Japanese that if I spoke to the Japanese players in Japanese, they had like their whole own thing where they're like their whole own system. And so like suddenly I was like in, and they thought I was like this goofy American because I would tell them like I'm learning Japanese. They thought it was so funny. And they would be giving me money. They would be like bringing me around. Like people would charge you to teleport to other cities, especially Americans. And if I asked them in Japanese, they would waive the fee, but they would charge the Americans the fee, So like, yeah, it was crazy. Like this is just such a fun time.
It's like early online, like just another
Core
world.
memories.
It was
and like
just
there's
one of
not a lot of games like that.
No, and I've chased that feeling. I try MMOs all the time. I just can't find anything like that.
Funny story, Josh. How old maybe was I at this time? What year was this?
This would have been like 2003, probably.
I guess maybe I was like 12.
Okay.
13 maybe. Maybe that sounds about right. I asked my mom for that game.
Hey.
I even got online with it.
You did.
But do you think 12-year-old me really understood how to do any of that? It was it didn't last long.
On PS2 then.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole thing because you had to get a PlayStation 2 hard drive add-on and
there was
Ethernet
extra
adapter. There's like all kinds of stuff.
My theory. Oh, go ahead, Jerica. Sorry.
I just remember having to hook it up to the internet, and that was that was the hardest part. My mom was trying to help me. I was like, I just want to play Final Fantasy X, whatever the next game is. This is it, and I want to play it online. And it was just
I understand because you like 10,
that's
so
what
you
happened.
11. That makes sense.
I think it's interesting, like really quick, when we say like we played these games and it was probably so hard for us as children to like conceptualize. I thought that about like Ape Escape, even though it's like just still not the same caliber as what you're talking about. But like we also had so much more time to like I
don't have any time to sit around.
We don't have the time or the patience anymore. Like
I mean, as a kid, we didn't have the internet for your console. I had to hook this thing up with the cable and then be like, is this online? I don't know.
Yeah. Trying to get me to do that today? No, I'm busy. Jerica, you're number 2.
Destiny 2 is my number 2. I would put like Destiny as well, but like I guess Destiny. I almost thought about putting World of Warcraft on my list too, but I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
a good one.
because it was this Destiny, believe it or not, only happened really or got me as deep as it did because of my
Mhm.
uh history with World of Warcraft, because that is basically because I played a lot of WoW when I was
Me
in
too.
college, and you know, hearing that Halo is on my list of favorite games of all time, or just like what I played a lot of online, it just made sense that a game that you have to squat up and level up your character like you would in World of Warcraft and do raids would be something I would just live and die for. Yeah, that's why I've been playing Destiny since launch, which I think it
Yep.
came out like in 2014 or something like that. So it's been a long time. It could have been even earlier than that. I don't remember.
That's
But I've
cool
been
that
playing
Kayla
Destiny
worked the
since
launch of
launch.
that and you were playing it.
There you
Mhm.
And that
go.
was another early me and Jerica friendship thing because we did like Vault of Glass and like some raids together early
Yeah, we
on.
raw dogged that.
Yeah.
Like we did it
Yeah.
before it like got
Yeah.
re-released. Like we did it in
Original.
D1
Yep.
so hard. Like we spent hours grinding that. Like
hmm
these things are, and you just can't just play Destiny. Obviously, you have to spend
No,
some
yeah.
time. You got to
It's so
practice. You got to get
interesting.
specific guns.
Again, like with this online stuff, how it changes over time. So you can't just go back and play that same experience. Even like Destiny 2, you can't play the original Destiny 2. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
And you couldn't
Yeah.
even, it's you play Destiny today, kids, you're spoiled because like Destiny
Right.
1 days,
Right.
listen, you had to meet everybody online. There was no fire team
Yeah. Yeah.
finder
Yeah.
at the time. You
Yeah.
had to get on the forums. You had to be like,
Yeah.
you want to like finding randos on Reddit, like. And it's 3-person activities a lot of the time. So it was like me and Audrey were playing, and this was before we met our group. So
hmm
me and Audrey made friends with a little kid named Kevin that would play with us.
I
Like
remember he was a
literally,
kid.
it was a kid. I think have
I
you
remember.
heard
I
him? I
did.
feel like
Yeah, I
he
did.
used to play with me and Audrey all the time.
You
It
brought
was
him
this
in
kid.
once.
He was like in middle school, and
Literally a
he'd be
kid.
like, Jerica, like Audrey.
Oh, that's so
Like,
cute.
and he was so nice. Like one time we got in a group with another stranger and they were like being rude to us. And Kevin was
Yeah.
like, "Don't talk to Audrey and Jerica that way. That's nice. I
Oh.
will tell my mom on you for them."
Oh, Kevin's mom, where are you
So
two?
listen,
I totally forgot about Kevin until you brought it up.
I sort of
That's
did
so
too, and it
funny.
came back, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god, I forgot about that. That was hilarious."
What if he's
We
watching?
impacted a small
Could be.
child's life. 'Cause
Yeah.
we were his gay aunts. So
Yeah,
on
for sure.
Destiny.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's
I
so
love
There you go.
funny.
Oh, wait, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my number 2 was gonna be The Last of Us 2, but we don't have to talk
Yeah.
about it again.
No, no, I mean,
I'll just say like everything I said when Josh was on, and I feel very similarly to Josh about that time in my life. And this is I will say like this type of game, like a survival-ish like RPG, which is so like weird to even like put it in a box because it's just like what stands out the most to me about this game is the story, and how it made me feel and what it made me contemplate. Like at the time, I also had the very fun, unique experience of playing it like back to back with the first
that's
game,
right.
and then I got to like bump it up right behind the second game. And honestly, I'm about to get cheesy, but part of what I love about it is getting to talk about it with you guys
Yeah.
and
Oh,
the community that it built for
it's
us.
true.
And so I feel like a lot of like a bond with it with you guys and things like that. So yeah,
That's it.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
That's why it's
No.
on the list.
It's on the
I
list for that reason.
I sort of just you brought that up, Kayla, and I sort of like just it's the reason why Destiny 2 is on my list, and I didn't even think to
Yeah.
talk about. I got so bought up.
Yeah, you got a whole
I'm not
friend
talking
group
about
out of it, you
Kevin.
know?
Yeah, but like lifelong friends that I
Yeah.
now hang out with
Yeah.
because of this game. And to your point, like I wouldn't have enjoyed Last of Us 2 if it wasn't that y'all, or at least you, didn't go on that journey with me. That was a whole other
It was
level
so
that
cool. Yeah.
it got amplified because of that friendship and us sort of hanging out and being like, you are so lucky you don't have to wait like 5-6 years to play.
Yeah.
And
And, like, we
Pisha, I've
have
been
a
in the chat
place-
almost this whole time, and you know, you're clickbait co-host for sure.
Yeah. And like having a place where we can do this too. Like I think about like child me getting like imagine getting to talk about like Super Mario Strikers with my best friends like online. Like how cool would that be? But we get to do that like
Yeah.
now. So I think that's like we're just really fun. Another piece of it, which is why
So
it's my
good.
number 2. But we have number 1 here, and it's
Wow,
not
we
necessarily
finally made
number
it.
1 most defining for me, but Josh, what about your number 1? Like, would love to hear what it is and what it means to you.
My number one, it might, what's funny is it might not actually be my most defining game, but I just wanted to pick like what I consider to be the greatest game of all time. So my number one is Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
I was wondering where it was.
That's where it is.
Here it is.
It is. I mean, I could do a whole podcast just about this game, but to keep it brief, like how it impacted me, I've told this story before, but I was just waiting for this game to come out, like just in a fever pitch, kind of like the Super Mario 64 situation. But I was just going insane about it. And I told my mom, this is the day the new Zelda game's coming out. You got to take me to the mall. We got to get the game. I got it pre-ordered. I already paid for the pre-order. This game was $79. People complain about the price now. This was $79 in 1998 or whatever.
That's crazy.
So that's insane. It's like over
it's
$100. It's like a $150 game.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered it. I was wearing my Zelda pre-order shirt, which I still own to this day. I'm like ready. I'm like, please, you got to take me to the mall. Okay, yeah, I'll take you to the mall. So we go. I get my Zelda game. Yes, I got it. Let's go. And she's like, oh, I got to go to Macy's. I got to check the clothes. Oh my gosh, come on. And then she's like, oh, actually, no, I got to go to the grocery store. Got to pick up something for dinner tonight. I'm like, oh, hurry. So I'm like, she's dragging me around on all these shopping adventures. I should have just took the bus home or something. And I'm just like going crazy because I have this in my hand. We didn't get home I had her take me to the mall like 11 a.m. We didn't get home till like 4 or 5 p.m. or something. I'm so mad at
Cut
this
into your
point.
time.
But literally core memory, going to my old room where I grew up, putting the cartridge in, turning the system on. Literally, it's like burned into my brain, the title screen coming up with the music and everything. Like I see it like it just happened yesterday. And then this game, for days, my parents didn't see me. I was just fully immersed in this world. It holds up today. There's some jankiness with some things like the camera and stuff, but they invented so many things that are in 3D games today were invented in this game and hasn't really been changed that much. Like people were like, oh, this game did it fine. And they just copied it, and that's still like that for a lot of games. So this game impacted the industry in untold ways. It is an incredible game. The music, the graphics, the storyline, the gameplay. This is what I consider to be the best video game of all time, by a pretty good margin, just for its impact at the time as well as still being playable today.
Amazing.
Oh,
Incredible.
Number one.
Jerica, what's your number one?
oh, will y'all ever guess? Y'all have any guesses? I've already listed like all of my favorite video games.
You said Halo, you said Destiny.
Death Stranding?
Death Stranding actually didn't make the list.
That was a great pick.
Damn.
Yeah.
I probably could have squeezed that one in there.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I really thought to the core of me as a gamer, what put me on the path of gaming? Like,
Ooh.
what?
Okay, good show. Guesses Last of Us 2.
No.
Nope.
Good
She
guess,
already had
though.
Last of
I
Us,
just
so.
went The Last of Us. I
She
went
had that
as a
earlier,
blanket
Yeah, she had it
statement.
earlier. Yeah.
Blanket
She did.
statement, just both games.
Big Buck Hunter.
I did play a lot of hunting games growing up. I enjoyed that shit so much. I recently thought about like finding an older one and like streaming me hunting and that being a whole character arc for me.
Oh, a separate character. Yeah.
Did you see what I grabbed?
No, I don't know.
Josh, you're not gonna be happy with me.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What is this?
Sonic!
But I
Sonic the
told
Hedgehog.
you. Hey, I like Sonic. Sonic
Let's
Adventure 1 and 2.
go. We
But
both had
mine-
Sonic on our list.
We did have
Just one.
Sonic. We've all had Sonic.
You made a comment earlier that I thought was really fascinating. So, like, I am a Sega kid. Like, I grew up with my Sega Genesis, is all I played. I played Sonic religiously. Technically, my favorite Sonic game of all time is Sonic Spinball. And it's like,
Oh my gosh,
little,
that's so funny.
what do you
Mhm, I know
call
which
it?
one.
What do you call that,
Pinball.
though? Pinball. Thank you. Ooh.
It's Spinball, but without the S.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, if there's any music I recognize, it's going to be from Sonic Spinball.
Interesting. Yeah, that's
Played
an interesting
so
pick.
much Spinball, but
P
Sonic the
Shack's freaking
Hedgehog.
out. Sonic Spinball mentioned.
so good. One of my favorite games. But yeah, like the original Sonic, like Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is also like my other favorite game of all time.
Sonic
the
2.
sequel,
With
much better.
Tails in there, yeah.
Sonic was the first game I ever truly played on my Sega Genesis, and I fell in love with this little guy. And I I watched the cartoon. I played this game. I never beat the game as a child because it was so hard once again. But God, I replayed so many levels so many times. That's all I did. I sort of explained earlier, like just sitting, in the living room on a control with the controller and just right in front of the TV playing like, what was the one from earlier? I already forgot. I was mentioning Gex, Crash Bandicoot, the Coot. How could I forget the Coot?
Yeah.
Like that was like how I was
3
with
hours
Sonic.
ago.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's been a long time.
That's not that bad.
I'm getting tired too. I'm just rambling, but man, I just played so much Sonic, and I have a very specific memory thought that I had as a kid, and it's just sort of cool because I think about this thought a lot. But I just remember as a kid playing Sonic 1 or 2, it doesn't matter. And I just remember looking beyond like the level, like the mountains in the background, and thinking, I wish I could take Sonic and get to that mountain. And I'm like, that's going to be so cool if that, like, as a kid, I thought this. I was like, I know it's surprising. I was a really derpy kid, still a derpy adult. I was saying, like, God, it would be so cool eventually if I'll be able to play games and I could just like get to that mountain. And I think about that a lot because
really
like
cool.
Obviously now like you can, and just like as a kid, I wish I could have shown, baby Jerica like the future for just a moment, be like, oh girl, you have no idea what's coming. But
you can get to that mountain, baby Jerica. You can get to it.
I just remember thinking like, God, it'd be so cool if I want to know what's up in those cliffs so bad. I want to know what's beyond this plane that I'm just running on. And yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog made me think about games in a different way, and still so much fun to play. Sonic Spinball, booted it up a few months ago, actually.
Oh, wow.
Play a lot.
Have you watched the movies?
Huh?
Have you watched the movies?
Sonic movies?
The new ones?
Oh, like God. So sorry. I was thinking like animation because I watched.
So funny. You're like Sonic movies?
Yeah, I haven't seen the third one yet because I hear there's like a big reveal and I don't want to spoil it, but I keep forgetting about it.
There is a big reveal.
I didn't watch the Knuckles show.
They're a little cheesy. They're kind of kids movies, but it's fun.
I enjoyed the first two. Like, I'm glad they changed or like updated his design.
Yes.
I didn't like how it originally looked.
Too fuzzy.
Yeah.
Poncherello, welcome into the chat, said, as a kid, my number one would have been Final Fantasy Tactics, but now it's probably Red Dead Redemption 2. I think that's both really good picks.
I love
some
Red Dead
honorable
Redemption
mentions. Elder Scrolls, Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim.
Would be one for me.
Love it.
Another one, Fallout New Vegas, is one that I had that Jerica moment where it's like I could go wherever I wanted, and it was just like fascinating. Also, funny story, I accidentally killed the person who gives you instructions in the beginning, and got stuck and had to restart the game because I
love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. But my actual number one might surprise some people. It has been talked about on this podcast before, and I will say, like, I didn't really structure my list for this to be the most impactful game for me, but it is the most recent impactful game to me, and it kind of changed the trajectory of what I thought that I was interested in. For the longest time, I told people that I didn't like turn-based games. And I truly thought that I didn't like turn-based games. Like I experience-wise, I had played like Persona. I wasn't super into that. I'm trying to think of some other ones that I tried that I wasn't super into. I briefly tried Final Fantasy, the most recent one that came out.
16.
16.
Which is more actiony, but sure.
Yeah, but I was just like, I don't think I like this genre as a whole, and so I kind of like put it away, and didn't like. I just said I didn't like it, and so I think it's interesting to think like how much you're, even as an adult that has played lots of games at this point, how your taste can evolve and change. And I'm gonna have to say Sea of Stars is
what a
twist.
Good show was like, Expedition 33 won another thing.
I thought so too. Oh my God.
Got him.
You're correct, but and I would say, like, and on my graphic that we posted, I did put Expedition 33, which I feel like is still not incorrect. Like, I would still, because of the way we kind of did our post on socials was like the 10 games that to get to know us, which I still would say, like, If I had to recommend to you either Sea of Stars or Expedition 33, I would recommend you Expedition 33 over Sea of Stars. Different, totally different games. Only similarity
But
really
you might
is
not
the
have played
turn-based.
Expedition
I wouldn't
33.
have.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
have. And that's
I
what I
get
was
it.
trying to get
I
to.
get it.
This is the first turn-based game I have completed ever, as in like just in general. So and it does some really cool things. And I know Jerica and
Good,
I,
fantastic game.
yeah, Jerica,
It
Jordan
took a
and
lot of
I,
convincing for me.
she did. And Josh will eventually finish it. He
I
has started
know.
it.
Oh,
Soundtrack,
and I followed the Kickstarter for so long. I was like, this is like a game made for me,
exactly.
and then
Yeah.
I didn't beat
Chrono
it.
Trigger fan, right?
Yeah.
I
Because
know.
like, where have you played Sea of
I
Stars?
know. I did
Apparently, that's
start
the
it.
thing. Yeah, but
I
you should.
gotta
I'm
complete
surprised you
it.
haven't beaten it.
I will.
Not
I
a true
will.
fan.
You're right.
Just saying. Not a true
Um,
fan.
so yeah, I never would have played Expedition 33 if I hadn't, and I still almost didn't play that game, but like it's the first turn-based game that I completed. I love the characters, I love the story, I love the gameplay. Like it's not just like, oh, I love the story, so I grinned and bared it through the gameplay. No, I actually like really loved the gameplay. Everything about it is phenomenal, and it seems weird to put it on like my number one in something, but like it came out and it really surprised me how much I loved it. Took me a long time to beat it, not gonna lie. But it deserves all the flowers. So, and I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough. So I wanted
I
to
agree.
round out the show with it.
This is
So
so good. I'm excited, so excited about this because it's literally like your pathway to
yeah,
playing Final Fantasy and like
exactly.
all this kind of stuff. So,
It opened a lot
oh,
of doors for me that I didn't that had
thrilled.
previously closed off. And so
Yeah.
here's my final thoughts to tell you. Don't say never say never to something. If
Yeah.
you are not sure if you like a genre, maybe give it another shot. If something like the art style tickled my fancy and I like loved the way it looked and it was very cozy. So that also was like, okay, well at the very least I'll have a decent time what I do play of it. But I did not expect to and love it as much as I did. So that is my number one defining game.
And apparently, it's the reason why we need to play Chrono Trigger.
Yes.
That's all I
You need to
keep
play
hearing.
Chrono. It's basically, it's a Chrono Trigger spiritual successor. So you got to play the original.
I love reading the chat after of like what everyone just assuming it was Expedition 33. I
Yeah, it's
promise
so
I didn't
funny.
change it just because everyone was thinking
That's
that.
so funny.
But it is definitely, yeah, I mean you'll see me talk about it again this year. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
But yeah, that's my number one. This was so much fun,
Yeah,
guys.
We
what a
did
good
it.
idea.
Yeah.
Right
Should
at
It
we
2
wasn't too
hours.
bad. Yeah, not too bad.
not too bad. I think like this is a good we gotta send people back to this episode if you're joining us for the first time. This is a good like return to this episode to understand us as gamers. I feel like a warm and fuzzies.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Great
want to play
time.
Mass Effect. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's actually been longer than a minute. It's been a few years. Like the Legendary, cop version came out, but I never actually beat that. So I really
Yeah.
want to play it because of this conversation. I think I'm finally
Yeah.
back in the mood.
We're back into it.
Back in.
Well, we have a lot of different content again that we will have going on this week. Next week, this time, pre-recorded, it will be posted our collaboration with No Small Games. If you were live in the chat tonight, Cater Blossom is one half of No Small Games. Very excited to talk all about our favorite indie games of the year with them next week. And we'll see you next time.
Woo!
All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks for
Bye.
stopping by. Thanks for stopping in. Why don't you
Stopping in
come
by.
back on
Hello.
around?
What'd you say
Stopping
about being on the
by
go?
there.
What'd you
I
say?
closed it. I said, come back around.
Come back around.
I already stopped it.